Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Hey. Hi, my name is Caitlin and you're watching my channel. Bum, 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 bum. Today I'm bringing you a tutorial that is full of drugstore must-haves. There is one thing that's not drugstore in here, but I do have a recommendation for a replacement for that, so forgive me. It's been my freaking dream to upload a makeup tutorial and I'm finally doing it. Yeah, let's just get into it. Let's get this thing started. So first, I'm going to moisturize. I use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. Looks like that. Okay, excuse the wet hair. So next, we're going to prime. I'll either use the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Smoothing Refiner. Looks like that in a little jar. It fills in your pores. It's great if you have big pores. I do. If I'm a little bit more oily that day, I'll use the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Primer, and it's more of like a mattifying primer. It does fill in your pores, but not as good as the Catrice one. I just stick my finger right in the pot. Put it where I need the filling the most. For foundation, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Now I'm going to mix shades Cream Beige and Porcelain only because I don't have the right shade. I'm just going to drop some out on the back of my hand. Just mix it together, make a little concoction. And to apply this, I'm going to use the L'Oreal sponge. I don't know if it has an exact name, but I'll link it below. It's the best drugstore sponge in my opinion. I really do also like the Morphe sponge, specifically the one with like the little edge. You can also get that one at Ulta, but I know you can't get that one like at the drugstore at like Walmart or anything, so I figured I'd use one that you can. But I'm just going to be applying this all over my face. This foundation is literally like $5. I love it so much. I have probably 10 shades, if not more. I do makeup on the side for proms and weddings and stuff like that, and this is actually the one I use. It photographs well. It's obviously, like I said, cheap. You can find it anywhere. It looks so good on almost any skin type. The only negative thing about this foundation is that it smells like paint. Like, literally smells like paint or paint thinner. It smells bad, but you can't smell it once it's on your face. So, it doesn't really matter to me. Alright, so the next thing is concealer. I use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. Looks like this. I do know that you can only get it at Ulta, or I know that it's offered at Ulta. I don't think it's offered at like Walmart or anything like that. I just put a little under my eye. By a little, I mean a lot. I do put some on the center of my face. I have a lot of my friends ask me why I do this. Think about it like you're doing a sketch or something like that, or like a painting. You wouldn't just paint someone's face one color. You would add shadows, you would add dimension, you'd add light and depth and whatnot. Same thing with the face. When you put one color on your face, you're not gonna look human, you're gonna look weird. So you have to add the light and dark with the contour and the highlight and everything like that to make it, you know, look like a face again. This concealer, by the way, is awesome. I love it. It's cheap. Keyword cheap. That's what I live by. I'm in college and I'm on a budget. people say it's a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't think so, in my opinion. It's just not as full coverage, but it is good, especially for the price. Also, I don't think I mentioned this, make sure your sponge is damp. Like, run it under the water, squeeze it out, do it again, like probably like 10 times. Make sure it's very, very wet, but wring it all out. You want all that water out. So you want to make sure everything is really blended and you have no lines or anything like that. So for setting powder, I use the Coty Airspun. And it's in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. That's really important because they have a few shades and you want something that's translucent. So I just tap it into the cap, take my sponge, and pack it under my eye. I set my under eyes first. And pretty much set anywhere where I applied concealer. And then with a brush, I'll go in and set everything else. You don't have to set your face. I do because I have such oily skin that my makeup will just slide right off. Alright, now that we are set, it's time to move on to bronzer. The Drugstore bronzer that I'm obsessed with, and you can get it anywhere. It is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Light. I've been looking for the shade Deep because this is a pretty light shade, but I just haven't found it yet. I know it's somewhere. But this is obviously really loved. I love it a lot. It smells like Coconut Dreams. But this is a really good shade if you are fair like me. If you're any darker than me, which I'm usually not this light anyway, I would go darker. For bronzing, I focus pretty much on the outer rim. What I used to tell my mom to like help her out a little bit is just think about starting the center of your face and making a 3. I just always start here because that's where I want the most. You can see you make like a little like fishy kiss face. You can see that line that it gives. You want to pretty much stay there and above, and you don't want to go too far up. You want to kind of just stay right here. Alright, so now that we are done bronzing, we're going to contour. The only thing in this that is not Drugstore is my contour palette. I love the NYX one. I'll link it below. It is totally affordable. So for contouring, I like to use something that's more dense and kind of skinny. I don't want anything too skinny. Like if you use something like this, you're gonna have a really sharp line. This is good for other things, just not contour. This one's personally my favorite, and it is the Morphe M523. I just realized I haven't told you any of the brushes I use. For the powder, I used the Sonia Kashuk brush, and it just says powder brush. For bronzer, I used the Wet n Wild brush, and I think I've literally like used it so much that there's nothing even on it. It's just, it looks like this. So anyway, I'm taking my Morphe 523. Here's my contour palette. It's the Anastasia contour palette. I've just taken out all of the shades and put them into a Z palette. So you want to take the color that's the most cool toned color in the entire palette, more of like a gray tone, because you want to add shadows. This is where we're not bronzing, we're not adding color, we're adding shadows and depth. And so you want to do your contour right in the hollows of your cheek. You want to start here in the back towards your hairline. That's where you want the most color, and then you bring it down. Again, focus on the back part towards your hairline, and then go down. So my phone was not recording when I did my eyebrows. I used the ColourPop Brow Boss pencil in the shade Dark Brown. After that, I'm going to take the bronzer that we used. I'm going to take a Morphe R37, and swirl it around off the excess, and literally just take it in your crease starting at the outside and just windshield wiper motions into your crease. That's literally all I do when I'm going to just run out the door quick, and that's it. Next, we're going to put on some blush. The blush I love is the Morphe Warm Master 8W blush palette. It looks like this. I had one fall out and break. I use this on my brides and on my girls I do prom on, and I love it. It does have some shimmery blushes in it, but it has more mattes than shimmers. I'm going to take a Morphe R4. Usually I dip in the shade Provocative. It's more of a corally color. Smile. You want to put the pointy side closer to your cheek. Start here and go up. I love blush, and I always have. Just adds so much life to your face. Now, I usually go up and clean up under my contour if I need to. I'll take the powder that we used and take my sponge. This is where this one comes in handy, the Morphe one. Take a little bit and just put that powder under that contour. Put it from the edge of your mouth all the way to the top of your ear. Just a little trick that I've learned. But this is where this one really comes in handy, because if you see, you can take this edge and just, like, that is bomb. You can leave it on for a while, or you can just leave it on for a second and brush it off. It just makes that contour sharp. So next is mascara. I'm absolutely in love with the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It looks like this. A little tip for putting on your mascara. Number one, tilt your head back. If you're looking down to the ground, or you have your hair really, really far down, and you're gonna hit your eye and it's gonna be all over your eyelid and it's not gonna be good. And then number two, start at the root, wiggle, and then kind of like blink occasionally. Also, I try to use the tip of the brush to put my lashes where I want them. After we've done all of this, we're going to set the face. I use the Mario Badescu facial spray. This is technically not Drugstore, but it's at Ulta and it's so affordable. This little bottle is $7 and it lasts me for forever. I have another one that's empty too. They really make it last longer, but it just melts everything together. I notice a difference when I use this and when I don't. I spray a decent amount. This smells so good. The rose water scent smells so good. After I do, I fan my face a little bit. And then a little trick that I always do to everybody I do makeup on is I take the sponge after that and I'll lightly go around the entire face. This is definitely something that's crucial and I can totally tell a difference. Now that the face is like kind of wet, let's highlight. The Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Golden Lights is bomb. I mean, this is blinding. They do have more shades than just this one. So if you're any darker than me, I would get a darker shade. I'm going to take this Real Techniques brush. It's the setting brush. I don't use it to set, I use it to highlight. Take a little bit in there, take off the excess. Yes, do you see that? I don't know if it's picking it up, but it is literally gorgeous. It looks white in the pan, but it comes off like a light gold. Whew. Ooh, bitch. Oh, bitch. You need it. I do take it on the tip of my nose, just a little bit, and down the center of my nose. Cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin. I take this one more time. I love the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink lipsticks. I love the shade Seductress. They smell like candy. There's that. Really, really good shade. Also love the Maybelline Shine lipstick. Jaclyn Hill recommended this shade and I've fallen in love with it. It is Baddest Beige. It is also a nude. I just love nudes. It's more of a pinky nude and it's pretty light. I'm in love with the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liners. They're cheap, okay? They're like under $5. Sugar and Spice is my favorite color they make. Usually I will overline my lips. Lining the lips is not necessary for everyone. It is for me. So I always line my lips and I fill it in and make sure lipstick lasts for forever. So next, I'm going to take the Maybelline Baddest Beige Shine Lipstick and just put that in the center. So yeah, that concludes everything. Hope you love it. Subscribe, comment, like. Let me know what you thought. Let me know any suggestions that you have. Just anything that you would like to see, let me know. Hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it literally from the bottom of my heart. Bye!